Okay, hello everyone, teacher and classmates. My name is Patricio Castro, and well, today I'm going to talk about English vowels and how they are classified. Okay, for example, the vowel in cat is very different from the vowel in car, even though both use the letter A, right? So in this presentation, I'll explain why that happens and how each vowel is pronounced. Okay, this is gonna be easy. I hope you can understand everything. Okay, but what are vowels? Vowels are sounds we make with an open mouth, okay? There is no blockage in the mouth. For example, see, sit, car, go, up, okay? All of these words start or end with vowel sounds. These sounds change depending on tongue and lip position, of course. In English, vowels can be short or long. Let me show you each one with examples and how to pronounce them. Let's start with short vowels, and let's start with the first one. You can see example here, okay? And it says sit, sit. So you have to relax your mouth and actually you're gonna see a small smile in your face. Okay, why? Because you have to pronounce with your mouth relaxed, and this is gonna sound like sit, like sit, sit, e this is not like it's like e sit. Okay, or milk, milk, fish. Okay, the next one, we have an example here, and it says 10. So listen carefully. 10. Your mouth opens slightly. 10, 10. Okay? Or pen, bad. Can you hear that sound? Eh, eh, 10, 10. Or pen, or bad. Okay? The next one, and actually we have an example that is really common in English and very useful because this is for connecting paragraphs and things like that. So we have that example here, and this is vet, a vet with a neutral mouth, and this is like a short sound, vet, or sun, or up. Can you see that? Can you hear that? And this is very short, vet, sun, up. The next one is another example about shorter vowels, and this is a go, a go. Okay, so this is when actually you gotta have your mouth very relaxed, and this is a fast sound. A go, a go. Can you hear that? A, a go, a go, a way, a way, a way. Okay, a way, a way. Okay, a go, a way. Ago, away. Okay, so these are some examples when we are using this kind of vowel. Next, we have another example, and this is dach, dach. Okay, your lips round slightly, dach. Or for example, off, off. Okay, and the last one in this list is put, put. This is a short, rounded sound. Put. I think you can hear it very well. This is very short. I mean, the sound's very short. Put, or book, or put and book. They are examples when we are using this kind of vowel. Okay? Now, let's analyze the long vowels. You can see some examples, and actually you can see some words, and these words are really used in English, like see to car, door, and girl, okay? But let's analyze the vowels that we have here and these words, okay? So, for example, in the first word, we have see, see, okay? You have to smile and stretch the sound, okay? See, like E, E, C, C, okay? Or cheese, cheese, or read, read, okay? You can hear in this kind of words this vowel, okay? The next one, actually this example, is two, two, okay? You have to round the lips and hold it. Two, two, oo, two, oo. Or blue, blue, blue. Or food, food. Okay? The next one is car, car. This is like, actually, you have to open your mouth and your tongue is gonna be back. Okay? So remember, mouth open, tongue back. Mouth open, tongue back. Car. And this is a little bit longer. I mean, the sound is a little bit longer. Okay? Car, car. Okay? Or star, star. Okay? Next we have door, door. Okay? This is actually you have to round the lips and you're gonna hear a longer sound. Door, oh, door, door, or more, more, door, more. And the last one in the list is girl. Remember, when we're going to pronounce this kind of uh, sound, this kind of vowel, you have to keep in mind lips neutral, tongue central. Lips neutral, tongue central. Don't forget this short phrase because this is going to be very helpful for you when you got to remember this vowel, okay? So remember, lips neutral, tongue central, okay? So for example, when we pronounce girl, girl, or word, 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 girl, word, okay? I think you can hear it clearly. So now we're gonna watch a video, and this video is gonna be very helpful for you. Why? The question here is why? Because you're gonna hear the different sounds that we have practiced right now, and actually you're gonna see some different vowels that probably you haven't seen before or you haven't heard before. So this video is really interesting. So please, I ask you, pay pay attention, okay? And I think that you have to listen to the vowels carefully and try to understand each one. Okay, so let's start with this.
Hey guys, my name is Vince. I'm an American English teacher, and in this lesson, we're going to learn the long and short vowel sounds. So, what are long and short vowels? A long vowel sounds like the name of the letter. It usually has a longer sound than short vowels. A short vowel has a different sound than the letter. These are usually the most common vowel sounds. Let's look at the short and long vowel sounds. For the short vowels, the letter A has the sound A, as in cat. The letter E has the sound E, as in bed. The letter I has the sound I, as in sit. The letter O has the sound A, as in mop. The letter U has the sound as in hug. For the long vowels, the letter A has the sound A, as in bake. The letter E has the sound E, as in seat. The letter I has the sound I, as in time. The letter O has the sound O, as in hope. The letter U has the sound U, as in cute. And the letter U has the sound U, as in rude. So it's generally accepted that the letter U has two long vowel sounds. Let's look at some other words with these long and short vowel sounds. Repeat them after after me. Fat, wax, bag, map, sad, has, egg, red, west, men, smell, get, dig, pin, milk, him, did, will, God, drop, hot, fox, mob, pond, mud, gun, cup, dump, jug, bus, paint, game, cake, ape, pay, made, tea, heel, fear, beef, wheat, key, hide, lime, smile, rise, pie, 5, road, boat, toe, stone, vote, show, cube, huge, unit, glue, fruit, tune. Aside from long and short vowel sounds, there are many other vowel sounds which are covered in other lessons. Be sure to watch my video.
So, as you watched that video, you saw that there are different vowel sounds. And this is very important to understand because sometimes we're pronouncing different words incorrectly in a wrong form. So probably that video was really interesting and helpful for you because now you understand different words and actually different pronunciation of vowels, and they can help you, I mean, those pronunciations, to understand better how to pronounce each word in English. So that is really interesting when you pay attention and understand how to pronounce them. Okay, so let's continue with the next topic. And actually, this is about the tone position. The tone position is really interesting, and actually, it is really important to understand. Okay, now let's look at where the tongue is when we say each vowel. Okay, we have front vowels. Okay, for example, when we pronounce sit, sit, ten, or cat. What happens here? These vowels use the front of the tongue. Okay, actually, we also have central vowels like when we pronounce go, that, or girl. Okay, what happens here? These vowels use the middle of the tongue. And we have back vowels. What happens here? Well, let's say some examples like to, put, saw, or a car. What happens here? These vowels pull the tongue toward the back. So don't forget, when we have front vowels, they use the front of the tongue. When we have central vowels, they use the middle of the tongue. And the back vowels pull the tongue toward the back. Okay? So here you can see some pictures. Actually, you can see 2 pictures about this. And remember that this is a little bit difficult to understand, but we're going to see a video where actually that video is going to be explained about these differences, and actually it's going to be very interesting to understand and to analyze. Okay, so now let's analyze about the lip position. Lip position is a little bit different than the tongue position. Why? Because when we're talking about lips, I mean, when the form or the position of your lips, the shape of your lips, and the tongue position, okay? You know, it is very different because we have three kind of lip positions, okay? So the first one is about rounded, okay? So don't forget. Another important part is the lip shape. Here are example of each type. When we talk about the rounded lips, we're gonna see some examples like to, book, saw, to, book, so. I think you noticed the form, the shape of my lips, okay? The shape of my lips. So when I pronounce to, book, saw, you can see that my lips actually they are in a different form than when I pronounce see, right? So that's what we call rounded lips, okay? And we have spread lips as well. For example, when we pronounce see, sit, cheese. So what happens here? Remember, I told you before that when we pronounce C, you have to smile a little bit. And that's what happens here. And you can see here in the third part of this picture, and actually on this part, okay? This is the spread form, spread position, okay? So remember, this is a kind of a smile, okay? It's like if you were smiling. So don't forget, the first one is like when your lips are like in a different form, in a circle form, okay? And the second one is when you are like smiling. It's very different, right? But this is very important to notice. And the third one is neutral. Neutral means that the lips stay relaxed, okay? They stay relaxed. So don't forget, in the first one, the lips make small circle, okay? And second one, the lips stretch like small smile. I told you that before. And in the third one, the lips stay relaxed. So for example, when we pronounce car, but, go, okay? This is an example of neutral position, neutral lip position, okay? Let's continue and let's analyze the next slide of this presentation. But now it's time to watch a video about this. This is a little bit long, but I think this is very important to understand what I need to explain here. You know, it is a little bit different to explain when we are on a video collaboration and video phone call, but it is really important to understand. And I think this video is going to be very helpful to understand and to analyze, okay?
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. Welcome. So today we'll be talking more about articulatory phonetics, which again is the study of the production of speech sounds in the vocal tract. If you haven't already, please take a few minutes to look at our other videos in this series on describing consonant sounds and navigating the International Phonetic Alphabet. In this video, we will be talking about how linguists describe vowel sounds. So just a couple of notes. First, again, like in the consonant video, we'll only be talking about the phonetics of spoken languages rather than signed languages, and we will be talking about the vowel sounds as they are used in North American English. There are two types of vowel sounds, monophthongs and diphthongs. Monophthongs involve one vowel quality, and diphthongs involve two vowel qualities. Now, when linguists are describing vowel sounds, we have to rely on a different set of criteria from what we used in describing consonants, because, remember, vowels do not involve a constriction of airflow in the vocal tract, so our tongue doesn't approach an anatomical landmark like they do with consonants. So the three criteria that linguists use when describing vowel sounds are height, backness, and roundedness. Let's talk about each of these in turn. Height refers to how high or low the tongue is in the mouth when producing the vowel. For example, consider the vowel sounds E and Ah. If you say both of these vowels in succession, you should feel your tongue going up and down as you say E. ah, e, ah, e, ah. In terms of height, vowels are either considered high, mid, or low. E is an example of a high vowel, and ah is an example of a low vowel. Backness refers to how far front or back the tongue is when producing the vowel. As with vowel height, this can be tricky as it takes some practice, but consider the vowels E and OO. If you say these vowels in succession, you may notice that your tongue is moving forward and backward as you say E, OO, E, OO, E, OO. In terms of backness, vowels are either considered front, central, or back. Remember that E is a high vowel, but it's also a front vowel, while OO is a back vowel. The third criteria that linguists use when describing vowels is roundedness. Roundedness means whether or not the lips are rounded when producing the vowel. Now this is something that's very easy as you can feel and see when you are producing a rounded sound, or when the person that you're talking to is producing a rounded sound. So again, take the two sounds that we just used, E and OO. OO, as you can clearly see and feel, is a rounded vowel, whereas E is not a rounded vowel. E, OO, E, OO, E, OO. Just like with consonants, there is a specific order that linguists use when describing vowel sounds. It is height, then backness, then roundedness. For example, oo is a high, back, rounded vowel. A is a low, front, unrounded vowel. Remember, so far we've only been talking about monophthong vowels. If we want to categorize diphthongs in terms of these criteria, we must do so for the starting vowel quality as well as the ending vowel quality. But we won't worry about that in this video. Alright, so what have we covered in this video? We talked about the criteria that linguists use when describing vowel sounds and the order that those criteria must appear in. And that's pretty much it for this video, but be sure to check out our other videos in describing consonants.
Okay, I hope you understood everything with this video because this is very important to understand, and well, actually, the person here talked about different things that we have studied until so far. So, for example, about the tone position and lip position. It's not the same when we're talking about rounded, rounded or spread or neutral positions because they are very different. Okay, so don't forget that when we're talking about lip position, it is not the same as tongue position. It's very different because one is about the tongue and what is about, and the other one is about the lips. Okay, that's why one is called tongue position and the other one is called lip position. So don't forget that we have different um, forms to pronounce the vowels. Okay, and this part is really important to understand that lips have different form, actually different shapes, sorry, as and that's why actually they can change their position, and this is very important to understand because sometimes we can get rounded lips, spread lips, or neutral lips. So it will depend um, on what we're studying, on what we're pronouncing, and what we want to say. I mean, what vowel we want to pronounce. So it is very important to understand this. And let's continue with diphthongs. Okay, diphthongs are really important to understand because they are vowel sounds that move from one sound to another one. Here are some examples, for example, in the first part we have this, a, okay, and this word is say. Starts with a and moves to e, say, okay, or name, or face. Let's continue with the next one, and this is we have an example, my. So what happens here? It starts with a and moves to e, my, my, okay, or sky, or time. Next one, and actually next example we have is boy. What happens here? It starts with a and moves to e, boy, boy, or toy, or noise, okay? And the fourth example we have here is go, and actually, it starts relaxed and moves to ooh, ooh. For example, go, okay, go, or nose, nose, okay? And the last one is about, no, actually, this is a little bit different and than the other ones, but remember, this is gonna start with a and it moves to ooh, okay? Like, for example, now, now, house, house, or cow, okay? These are different examples, and actually they are very interesting to understand and analyze because, we have different kind of diphthongs, and actually they are not always the same to pronounce. And I think looking at these different examples can be helpful for you to understand this kind of pronunciations, okay? And the general topic that in this case is diphthongs. And so what happens here? Don't forget, diphthongs are vowel sounds that move from one sound to another one, and of course, it is gonna depend on the word that we want to pronounce, okay? And to finish and to conclude with this topic, we're gonna see the last video, and this is gonna be about diphthongs, okay? So let's analyze this video and let's pay attention to this.
Diphthongs. Look at these words and hear their phonics carefully. Couch, toil, town, destroy. We can hear two vowel sounds in these words. When a vowel sound is formed by the combination of two vowel sounds, it is known as a diphthong. D means two and thong means sound. A diphthong begins as one vowel sound and moves towards another, such as in, coin, loud, toil, destroy, town, etc.
Okay, so why it helps in teaching? Okay, so well, knowing this is useful because English has many similar words that only change because of the vowel sound. So understanding a vowel classification helps us pronounce words better understand native speakers more easily and avoid confusing similar sounding words. So don't forget the actually what we have explained and seen here, because this is really important to pronounce correctly different words and vowels, of course, because that's that topic on this presentation. Okay, of this presentation, sorry. So now you can see here the sources that I used to actually that I used in this presentation for you. And this was about the different vowel sounds that I found for you and different sources like and the first one, this is a source on YouTube. The second one is a YouTube source as well. And the third one is about actually this is a book. Okay, so you can go on this link and you can see and read this book because this is very important and interesting because it is about different things that we should know about English, you know, pronunciation, vowel sounds, different things, and grammar rules that probably can be useful for all of us. Okay, and this is all for today, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. I hope to see your comments here, and that would be all for today. Okay, thank you very much. I hope this was very useful for you, and I hope to see you again next time and explain another topic about English and things that are important for learning more and this kind of subjects. Okay, so that would be all for today, and thank you very much, and bye bye.